Hi everyone, welcome to our next video in our ground contact series. Today's video is going to look at how do you know if you need to work on your ground contact. We're going to go through a few examples to highlight what you should be looking out for and to show you the signs that your ground contact is either causing these movement inefficiencies, the reduced performance, or the cause of those injuries and niggles that are affecting your training. We start with the deadlift movement. The deadlift is a common, kind of popular, conventional hinge pattern, so it'll transfer to a lot of other movements. And the big thing here we can see, kind of both the heel and the toes are grounded, it's creating a nice, strong, powerful deadlift pattern. Obviously you can see when we take a closer look, both the toes and the heels are grounded. However, an extremely common fault to look out for within your deadlift and your hinge is putting way too much weight in the heels and the toes start to come up. So you can see when we have that closer look, when we start to drive up, an example would be those toes starting to come up, which is a movement we want to avoid. Yes, the weight is going to counteract this kind of movement pattern. We really want to avoid having those toes in the air. This is one of those movements that we really want to look out for, or one of those little things you can see within your own movement. If you notice this within your own movement, like the other examples we're going to come to, it's an area that our ground contact could do with some work. The squat is going to be the next movement we are going to come to. It's an extremely common and well-used movement within kind of training and exercise. So it's that flexion and extension at the hip, so it places that different stress on our ground contact. So you can see with this one, it's nice and controlled, it's nice and balanced. So the closer look at the feet, you can see there is a full perimeter grounding. So the whole area around the foot is in contact with the ground. What we're trying to avoid is this kind of coming away of the heels, kind of laterally, or the back edge. So when we pause this again, you can see the heels are elevated, the lateral edge is rolling in. This is a movement we are looking to avoid, or it's the sign that your ground contact, in particular your squatting pattern, could do with a little bit of work. This is kind of those heels moving around, there's that extra movement, what we're trying to avoid. So if you notice this within your squatting pattern, whether in strength elements or workouts, your ground contact could do with some work. Our final example is going to be some dumbbell cycling. So when we use this, you want to looking for a nice, repeatable, consistent movement within the foot. So you can see that the heel is slightly coming up. That's absolutely fine. When the weights get heavier, we want that extra extension. However, we want consistent movement. As you can see, we want to avoid the heels and the toes coming up. It's inconsistent. There's no pattern to the movement. This shows that kind of poorer ground contact, which is going to lead to all those inefficiencies. So pay attention to your dumbbell or barbell cycling, anything within workouts. If we're getting this seesaw kind of non-consistent movement, it's a good indication that your ground contact could do with a little bit of work.